presented a letter to the district commissioner where they communicated their decision to endorse President Hakainde Hichilema's candidacy for 2026 general elections.
We hereby endorse you, Mr. President, Mr. Father in the as the four candidate for the CSE election in the 2026
The Freedom District Commissioner said that President Hakainde Hichilema is working hard to ensure that every Zambian benefit from various empowerment programs.
President, but being today, not going to something obvious, but the country as a whole. On Senate, when I do a president, but still without them by the 2021.
Chairman Bali, Service News in Mufina District.
Right now, you're being trained by the environment. They have a million things pulling on you. And it's so easy to get off course. If you don't counter that, stop playing with your fanny pack. You need the new 340 GSM military grade pair skinny buddy to get comfortable in the
Ngozi yafanye kokusangirira yotiri mutu kamere kuchina community ngozi amaprofesi kwete uchale nayakira ene kwete yunga umo ule chushaba ibinge twaita kanoti kulachitana atatu kulachitana na shani umo position ewe Because we don't want to speak about unity. Speak about unity. We don't have peace right now. We need now a plan solution. Are we going to bring a Karabao report? Are we going to bring SPO report? Are we going to bring a FF report? Showing them, I'm a leader special in the right Katana. Baba the committee means Patwala and Chapala CSP. That's who you're there. You guys are just attacking us. Yama. Banana Africa. Shinga Bikani. Waita Kandila Kantuan. Fakat. Shastrisho Mukumbote Shapiati. Sakot Maskeda Mapolitics. Kukabaka Mayo. Sando. Stasha Kuite Sala. And not going to do that. The things that can go forward in the break. So I just explained it. Because they are not talking about unity. On your camera. Ndio maana kanuni sababu waliweza punch walionyesha vision leo mani ndara pesa la tini sababu ni mwana kibera kwa mstari leo sana why sababu expand I am going to tell you kwa jabla shishana na kama na kama kwa kitu na mwalimu kwa na kitu wale tukafanya mwalimu kwa kale bamba kisha tatu na mkesha ya tunatige na baile tani kwa sababu kama kwa kunya ugalelwa nothing like that nomba na watu wasome kama kesi ya kushikile mpa usiaka na ikatana then tungushi kwa sababu tanga leadership 5 years in opposition ya hapa Muchinga kwa kama watu kwa sababu some of our sisters used to pay a person died the fellow again to insult him day in day out they go punish him for what he was it's new status when people know member are not a power what is that on my context
My sister, kifia kwemati imopata mulifuala musubire eri twabye kupose ekitapa kintu kimu that was we are not going to take it kati issue of literacy and shani must be just end here apart from it wabwera pamo if you are any differences here with Mr. Mundubire fuezi hapo futi for a minute full up sana let us do what is because you let Mr. Mundubire the power to
Adishani.
Mr. Danny. Dr. Danny, are you there? Hello, Dr. Danny. Hello, Dr. Danny.
for interest to people that are in prison, people that are suffering, and Tirono Shumundu, Wakwewati, even if we start campaigning for him, okay, people will follow him, people will vote for him, okay. He says, speak at time if you want to speak at time. Otherwise, if you wait to make more what I'm going to do, just supposed to head in here. About what I'm going to do, to read the couple. Natamwalike kwa mundu vile ukatariki kulikasongo because the only clean person tulife clean wotu ndabika point years as at now kwetu ipa ground notesha kukishika twambio kuimba twamfunike wendo ushi twamfunike chini chini twamsamune apa tuindile setwombeleshe pamo chapwa let us reconcile if there are differences. Not if you are putting a double that face a question and challenge. No, Samuel Wawa doesn't mean about is chapwa. Thank kimuliro kimundo be awojo era ikuti wamwana matereta yawojo yala ndilo kusentro kubitiplo owa kusentro kubitiplo mukutwala era limbirikana kusenya kabatwala bantu takwatala kwako ojo yafu meaning ekasi ni chakali mwekale kunyama ono She's total nonsense. To me, then I'm going to want to central community. Put people who are reasonable. Put people who will protect the interests of a political party or your organization. To come inside the advice, we are not PFC, but we always tell you the truth. Mdala wandi. Uyo muntu ni kabwalala. Uyo muntu ni kabwalala. Lekenya fu abana bakwe. Hai. Lekenya fu
Hello.
abana bakwe obwafwe. Alikwata abana eshinje kira twali abana. Tebo abana bakwa fyati abawo.
Hello, Mr. Kombe.
So they
Hello, Mr. Chanda.
Oko mulibani?
Potuli hapa tutapitana.
Oh, yeah. Weekend ilishani.
Weekend ilifa bwino. So yenu ilemba stance. Weekend ilifa bwino tuma busy pepa nono.
If any long weekend.
Oh, namkata holiday.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, your Thanksgiving in October. Oh, that's nice.
It follows the next month, isn't it?
Yeah,
next month.
third, fourth week, I think, of November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I know, we for Tampina, twakwala Thanksgiving, and then the next month, ni Nuevo. Good. Otherwise, family is good. Oh, it's dropped out. Hello.
Ndelanda nika.
Hello.
Hello.
Nachipa mute.
Oh, mwachwapa mute badani. Ni ishi ama ku Puerto Rico fish match me pera ama Spanish.
Ndelanda finik.
Because I kept on saying hello, Jira. I'm sure but that is being spoiled by some.
I was the first one to come in and there was nobody in here.
No, I was there. I brought you in, and then I started calling you, and then I couldn't hear anything. So I started working on my thing. I thought maybe it was my end.
Okay.
And only to discover catch my proper mute. Anyway, so thank you for joining us. I think twala tampa show bakombe na besa na bena. Who's driving? Somebody's driving.
Someone's car is being stolen. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, let's start. Let's begin, and let's proceed. So, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Redtag Podcast show. Today, we're being joined by a very able doctor, Dr. Danny, all the way from Puerto Rico, but he's a Canadian, of course. And I don't know when he's going to decide to come back here. And we have Makombe. I think he's the one that is driving. Makombe, our
with traffic.
Yeah, he's in traffic.
Yeah, I'm in traffic, but can you hear me?
Yes, we can with Amahuta Kabiri.
Oh, sorry about that.
So yeah, okay. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining. So we've got a very packed show today. First of all, Katmishi, maybe we start with the elephant in the room, which is the confusion in the opposition, or we go straight to the main topic. I don't know which one you guys are comfortable with. Which topic you guys are comfortable with?
Any topic is Yeah, any
Any
topic is fair game.
Okay, all right. So then let's start with the main topic, the first one. Of course, we all know that we've had a lot of pronouncements, a lot of news this week. The past 2 weeks, there's been a lot of news that even me, I can't keep track of. We know that we're going to have what now strengthening the laws of the public system when it comes to medicine, Nefia Shala. It's now going to be an unbailable offense, and it's going to be classified as an economic crime. So once you involve yourself in stealing drugs or associating yourself in those crimes, just know it's unbailable, and now it's going to be an economic crime. Gentlemen, what do you think about that pronouncement by the president himself? He was there, he was announcing and saying this is what's going to be classified. Is that something that's going to make people, at least, tighten their belts, or these organizations to tighten their belts to make sure that medicine reaches the poor people?
Yeah, to me, this is one of the first steps in trying to stop this mess that has been going on surrounding medicine pilfering in Zambia. I think it's good. Yeah, the president has been well advised to tighten the rules so that that's the only way we're going to stop this nonsense. So that's it's a very good thing. And to me, I want somebody to be very soon. Somebody should be caught, and then everybody will see that the president means what he's saying. Because if we're just gonna make these pronouncements, and yet we still see the situation not improving, no drugs in hospitals and all that type of thing, while the government is busy ordering medicines, but there are no medicines in hospitals. So I think someone has to be caught and sentenced, and then people say, "Oh my God, this is serious," because there are so many pronouncements politicians make sometimes, and they never implement what they say.
Mm.
So to me, it would be nice. I know there are a lot of thieves in that area. It would be nice to see somebody being prosecuted so that we parade him in public, say, "Look, this is what the president meant."
Mm.
Okay? And then everybody's gonna learn. They'll stop. They'll say, "Oh my goodness, this is serious." Yeah. So that it's a good thing, and I hope someone will be caught, and everyone will learn from that, because it says even the property that you own and you use the money to buy that property or build that property will be seized as well,
To
which
be
is very
seized,
good.
mm,
Yeah.
including
So
property.
yeah, let's see it in action. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Fair point. Fair point. Vakombe, I don't know if he's still driving.
I'm on. I can.
Sorry.
I am available. I can comment.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, thank you for having me on the program. And my colleague, Danny, I hope you're well in Puerto Rico. Um, yeah, I think it's a welcome stance by the president.
Mm.
I think it's something that shouldn't even wait. They should quickly rectify it and let it
Mm-hmm.
be in place. A very good example I can give you is China.
Mm-hmm.
In China, they don't play games. They're found guilty of corruption, were sentenced to death.
Mm.
That kind of punishment will take away all the corruption. I'm not saying that go for death sentences if somebody is involved in corruption, but I welcome the stiff punishment the president is trying to put in place. I think that law, the law they're trying to draft, they should say if you're found guilty of stealing public property, um, in government, anything to do with health or just money is in government. I think there should be a minimum of 10 years mandatory sentence.
Mhm.
10 years. That's the
10
minimum.
years.
When you do that, a lot of people will be scared of touching things. If you look at how much money has been lost uh, to debt, if you look at
Mm.
the Ministry of Health, for example,
Mm.
the money is they're colossal, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. A good example, not health, but I'll give you an example of Mr. Malanje, who was former
Mm.
foreign affairs minister, caught and found with a crime to answer sentence and is given 4 years. That's unacceptable.
Mm.
No wonder he can have the guts to say he wants to appeal.
Mm.
Look at the millions of dollars he was found guilty of siphoning. And
Mm.
you give him 4 years? And yet, if
Mm.
you go around the country, you find people stealing wheelbarrows and chickens, and they're given
Mm.
7 years or 9 years with hard labor. My
Mm.
question to the people in government is the law or punishment just for the poor?
Mm. Mhm.
That's my question. So I
Mm.
welcome the president's thinking. I welcome what he's saying. I love it, but I think he should go further. Enough is enough. The money that people have lost. No wonder you have people right now who are singing and mocking the government, who were in the previous administration, who have stolen millions of dollars. And because they haven't been caught, they're still enjoying the money. They are mocking government and they're
Mm.
mocking the Zambian. I think enough is enough. So I think it should be law. Once found guilty, 10 years is the minimum you get, and everything should be repossessed by the government
Mm.
and sold so that the money recuperates. So good move, kudos, Mr. President. I hope you sign this as early as Monday, but make it 10 years.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So I don't even know. Like, I agree with both of you, gentlemen. I agree with both of you, and I feel there should be stiffer punishment to these, law-breaking individuals that steal, especially drugs, because you can imagine, if my grandma in the village, much kunani kusavia, you know. She's there. She goes to the clinic, and she's been given a prescription because somebody pilferaged even just a simple malaria drug, that she's supposed to access, and then she end up dying. So those are the things that we need to start looking at because, even the minister himself, I think he was a little bit emotional today. Was it yesterday when I was watching that? He was a little bit emotional. He's saying they deserve to die even then because they are killing, you know, But they need to be. It has to be, yes, unbearable, and stiffer punishments, and of course we should there shouldn't be any leniency when it comes to people who pilferage drugs, because I mean, if you look at the people that are actually living way way in the deep jollies, in the Shangobo, you're talking about in the way deeper places that medicines, even just a simple Panadol, is hard to find, because of these kind of things. And I can imagine if there's a shortage of drugs in the cities. Imagine in the villages or in the rural areas, then it's even worse. So so these are the things that, yes, yeah, I think we need to make this actionable real quick, and there shouldn't be any leniency. And I don't even know, I believe that the case for Bachiru Chitalu has gone back to court. I believe I heard something like that last week.
It's being revisited.
Yeah. So I mean, that honeybee case, needs to be relooked at because somehow, somewhere, somebody has to be answerable, and punishable to what happened during that period of time,
Yeah,
and
but
nobody. Go ahead.
but as my colleague here,
Mm.
Wakombe, said, the law seems to be very tough on the poor people like me
Mhm.
and you.
Mm.
But when it comes to the big boys, look at the ZRA, Kingsley Chanda.
Mhm.
You know, and is co-accused.
Mm.
You know, he played a very big role in those vehicles, and yet he got the 6 years, and then
Mm.
the guy, there was a guy called Kaum something, the guy who was just a director in one of the departments.
Mhm.
He gets 9 years. And so
Oh.
the boss who is sending you to do things gets
Uh-huh.
only 6, and you who
You
is
get
just
more.
following the commands, you get a 9 year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I
Wow.
looked at it like, what? This is
That is
because
that
Kawama
is
wouldn't
insane.
have done what he did without Kingsley's commands.
Ah.
Okay. And so
Wow.
the law somehow, these major streets or whatever, they don't get it right sometimes.
Mm.
It's shocking to see the person who was just carrying commands from the boss gets more years in prison than the actual person who was sending him to
To,
do those things.
to do the crime.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how these lawyers work or these judges work.
And you know
Anyway,
what Kingsley Chanda, like his case. I mean, I was actually listening to one of these audios on the internet of one case where one of but PF, yeah, because he's a well-known PF. I mean, we all know that Kingsley Chanda was a PF member or sympathizer, but he belonged to the PF. And then one of the other PF guys, he called him, to ask for a favor for his friend that actually declared goods, that he didn't have at the border. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, what? So the guy, when he was explaining on the phone, he even calls him. He said, "Oh no, Munandi, I didn't call ka situation. Yeah, no, I didn't regulate into kuna konde, but I have pisha ku chirundu, and you're saying that is, for example, like he's bringing in vehicles, but what he's bringing in is something else in a different border.
yeah,
And then can you like do something there? That is what about it? Then what kind of games were these guys playing? Like what kind of but
it's
PF,
serious.
but PF, wow. I was busy listening to that audio. I was like, wow,
It
wow.
was bad. Under PF, it was everybody, every office, they were stealing. That was like they go out in the morning, all they think about is how am
Mm,
I going to use my office or my position to get
mm,
something out of that. That's what they were doing.
yeah.
It was
And
rampant.
yeah. And they're working hand in hand with the cadres, which is
It was rampant. Yeah.
yeah. Oh man. Vakombe.
Anyway,
Mwali ukweli ya Kingsley.
yeah.
It's very unfortunate. I do not know the details of the whole case. But sometimes what affects judgment is the authenticity, is the evidence. If you look at most leaders are smart. They'll give a verbal direction, and the junior will go there and enact things and sign. The boss doesn't sign anyway. So that's the reason why you find when these cases go to court, uh, the junior person is convicted with many years in prison. It's because they
Sorry
follow the evidence.
Vakombe, kuliko ka feedback kuno makashinga di radio katwi. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So because the window is open. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was saying was at times it's because of the evidence that's available. That's the
Mm,
reason why sentences are affected. Most people who are above these juniors who do all these things do not sign. They give verbal direction. For
mm,
instance, they can say, take this car to Francis and give it to him. Tell them it's coming from the party. So the junior who's signing off that car leaves a trail. And that's the
mm,
trail that is followed when the sentencing is done or when the court hearing is done.
mhm.
So in the case of Kingsley Chanda, I think he knew he's a smart man. He knew maybe there's no trail for him. So that's the reason why. That's just my comment why sometimes the
Mm,
bosses are not affected. Even presidents direct people And that's the reason why some of them, you see, they're not convicted. But the
Mhm.
juniors who take those things and sign them off,
Mhm.
that their signatures are there. And that's the reason why.
Okay, that's another angle to look at it. It's a different angle, and that's one of the angles that I think we're discussing something similar to this with
But but
Wakazi.
Wakombe, I don't sometimes agree with that. For example, the commanders who actually tell soldiers to go and kill people, like the Rwanda genocide. The commanders were held responsible for the killings, but they were never in the war front to kill the people. So to me, even the person who gives commands to go and do that, is equally should be held responsible, whether there's a trail or what, because you are my boss. You're the one who told me to do this. I'm supposed to be equally convicted for that. Just because I'm a junior, I'm the purchasing manager, I've been told, get this money and do this and that. And it's not right. And that's one thing I like about the Minister of Finance, the techie thing with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. What's his name again? They excluded juniors in that case, the people that were just told to do things, get this money, do this, do that. Those were excluded. But it's only Malanji and Mr. Yamba who were convicted, because they were the ones who were pulling the shots, telling people to do this, transfer this money, go and withdraw it, bring it to me, and all that. So I don't. Messengers should not be, especially in Zambia, where if you go against your boss's commands, you lose your job anyway. So if Malanji tells you go and get $11 million and bring it to me, you do it. But to be convicted more than Malanji, who told me to do it, I don't think it's fair.
I agree
So
with you, but Danny, I totally agree. But in the courts of law, they follow evidence. So if I'm a junior and I was told by Malandi to go out, leave a these amount, and it was just a verbal instruction uh,
Mm-hmm.
in a pub or at my house, there's no way of me proving that in the court. So military trials are a little bit different. That's why generals are convicted more, because in the military, the code of conduct is you don't disobey orders. Only act
Mm-hmm.
based on orders. So when you take it into just an ordinary court, they follow evidence. Where is the evidence? Is it written somewhere? Do we have an audio somewhere? You know, so you can't just say, "Oh, he instructed me," and that's the reason why you find in the case of Bonanza or even Rakim, there's less things, less years being served. But this is a lesson, I think, to the juniors also, so that they know if you're getting instructions from your boss or your superior, it has to be in written form, so that it's on the record.
Yeah, it is sometimes
okay,
when you're
okay.
working forward.
So okay, why don't we give a practical example? Let's give an example of a case that actually happened. Yaba and can yaba Kingsley Chanda. So Kingsley Chanda, Danny, you have information on this one.
Mm-hmm.
What's the actual case? What really happened? So like he's no, not Kingsley Chanda, but ZRA, the ZRA boss, the commissioner, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
anyway, for him, according to the records, the court records and or the transcripts from the court, it says they bought those vehicles in the election year, that they were going to be using it for, I don't know, tax men, whatever, those people that travel from company to company. I mean, those who travel from, they are not in the office, they are always on the road.
Extension officers, I found out. Extension
Yeah.
officers. That's what they're
Yes.
called.
So those
Extension
vehicles were bought and they say, okay, they're going to be used by those people. And towards the elections, they decide just to say, you know what, they're not going to distribute to those the intention when those vehicles were bought was to be used by those officers. But I think deep down, the cartel, they knew that these were going to be donated to PF as,
To be
campaign
used for
vehicles.
campaign.
Yes. So when they were obtaining money and whatever, they said, "Oh, this is the purpose for the vehicles." And once they were in their hands, they decided not to use them for that purpose. So
They
they
maintained
just started sharing them. I'm told some girlfriends were given and this, and the rest were dumped with PF Secretariat. Here are the vehicles, and then they painted them and all that. But the good thing is there was a trail, and that's exactly why Kingsley was, because there was a trail of all those numbers, engine numbers, whatever. They found them in the hands of PF, including one Matero pastor. What is his name? That guy had one of them. They gave him one too. The guy who went to South Africa, the one who went to South Africa for the body of Lungu, he had one of them. Yeah.
Pastors for Lungu. Bashukuru.
Bali wapera kana vena, pastor something. So they were distributing, they gave everybody, and the distribution was done by that guy, Kaoma, the guy who was told, okay, give this one, give him this one, give him this one, give that one. The rest, give them to the PF. Okay?
Wow.
And that was a case the guy in the Kaoma had to, that's why he's in jail too. But the commands were coming from the boss himself. So they got the vehicles purporting that this is the reason why we want to use them for this. And then when they were in the hands...
Hold on, Wadani. We've got Vakalinda. She's just joined us. Welcome, Vakalinda. We're missing you. Are you there?
She's on mute. Maybe
she's on mute. She's on mute. Okay. Anyway,
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. Now, as usual, before I say anything constructive, how about we go ahead and sing our favorite song at this juncture? No legend forever. Whatever the weather.
There's no game this time.
What do you mean, dog?
This week it was winner. During the week, it was winner. The week weekend it was winner.
Tell him we are top of the table. We have topped the league table. We are sitting. The elephant is back on top.
The VAR game, VAR goes. The goals to be replayed 500 times.
No. The truth of the matter is that we won. That's all that matters. We won. There is nothing no one can do or say to take that away from us. Anyway,
okay, Vakalinda. Welcome, Vakalinda. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm right here.
So we are talking about the cases of Kingsley, ZRA.
I mean, those people, it was long overdue. I mean, come on now. Who does that? Who distributes government taxpayers that were bought by the taxpayers to his fellow friends and himself, and including what are the pastors for Lungu? I mean, what was his name again? The Archbishop. I mean, that man should not even be a priest at this point. I mean, I don't know why we are even failing to report him to the Vatican, because what he has done, he has sullied the Catholic Church. I mean, what kind of archbishop get involved with a president for personal gain, and that personal gain is reflected with the Hilux, the Toyota Hilux? Is he saying that the Catholic Church is that poor they couldn't afford him a car for his official business? Is that what we're saying here? And I mean, I don't understand why us as Zambians have normalized this kind of, stealing from public resources. I don't get that. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. So I mean, he got what was coming to him. Essentially, that's what I'm saying with that.
But,
He
but
got it.
again, but again, we were saying the sentence was very, very minimal. We are seeing these minimal sentences to very influential people. And if my cousin in Nishikatende still is a god, he goes in for 10 years. You know? And
Now that is something that I mean. I know the president touched on it a little bit during the week. Didn't he say? I mean, as far as he say that they are looking at revising the law now that if you are caught in a corrupt case, you go to jail and then they recover the if you bought a house, those homes or whatever business you have that you got out of public resources, those will be forfeited. Didn't I hear the president say that during the week? Or maybe
yeah,
I was dreaming.
no, he said
So,
that over the medicine thieves. The
oh,
medicine, yeah, that's what he
no,
was
but I
referring
think
to. They have changed the law now, it's non-bailable, and you are not going to be tried in the normal courts. You're going to be tried in this new court of the
the
economic.
economic. No,
Yeah,
I think that's an oversight. They should do it even to the people that are being, caught in corruption cases. Why are they being given the? What kind of justice is this? Like you just said, Doc. If my cousin in Shikatende or Lugwalo steals a chicken, he goes in for 7 years, and then you have this big so-called VIP going in for 1 year. Oh,
yeah,
come on. I think that's a miscarriage of justice. I mean, we have to do better. We can do better. I mean, this is not the UPND we voted for. I mean, I don't get it, but I think we need to do more and we should do better.
yeah.
That's my take on that.
Thank you. Moderator, what are technical issues, right?
What is going on, man?
Anyway,
Uh,
the other topic on the agenda, which we had almost started, was on the quenus that have been reported this week. We have even lost track of them. There are too many.
There are too
Um,
many quenus. Oh, that's what I'm saying. There are too many quenus. We can't even
keep
um,
track of
keep
them.
track of the quenus. There are just too many of them. So I
Yeah.
think we're
So
on track. Go ahead, Doc.
yeah, so that's what we wanted to. We started with the theft of medicines. We said that's good, and then we sidetracked and went into Chilufia's. I'm not Chilufia, the ZRI man, but we were really talking about the same pronouncements by the president that these cases where you steal medicines from hospitals would now be non-bailable, and you'll be tried by a different court, not the
Oh,
normal court.
that's definitely fantastic. I
Yeah,
was a
and
little
so
bit sidetracked on the. What happened to what was it? Something came to me as you're talking. Keep talking, Doc. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'll remember it in a
so
minute. I'm
Yeah,
having a
sorry,
senior
sorry,
moment.
gentlemen. I think my phone dropped. Did I drop out or what? Because I couldn't
yeah,
hear.
you have been
Yes,
dropping
you
out and
left us. You left us hanging.
Uh-oh.
Bachelor, yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm on your online, and then they want to call you.
okay.
Oh yeah. It's a weekend, so we
Anyway,
understand.
we are on the second item now on the bill. What do they local content bill
Local
pronouncement
content bill. Yeah.
that was signed by the president. Not the president, but the minister of mines. I guess is that who signed what? Is that the president or
Sure.
it's only the president?
The president has authorized.
Okay, okay,
So he has
So
authorized to say, can you go ahead? It's an SI.
okay.
So Wakabuswe, I don't think an SI has to go through parliament.
It
really,
has. It
I-
has.
it has to, isn't
It
it?
has to.
Because
All
that
SIs
becomes
have to go
law.
through parliament to go and be
That,
approved.
that becomes law then.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Otherwise, it's illegal, isn't it? I
mhm.
don't that. I mean, just let me just be a little messy a little bit.
Mhm.
Shouldn't, I mean, if it's local content? So in my book, isn't that supposed to be um, Ministry of Information's right to sign, because that's communication, isn't it? Or what is it that
No,
I'm
no, no,
missing?
no,
No,
no.
no,
This
no.
one, this
Under
one is
this
yeah. They're
mines.
not in the mines. It's this one basically it's tackling the mining sector for one. Making sure that all the foreign investors, when they invest in these big billions and billions of dollars in the mining
Hmm.
sector, the local people should have 100% share. Okay, so the local
Suppliers.
people.
Suppliers
So
have to be local.
from all the suppliers and all these other
Oh, okay. So
supporting.
it's more from the 25% that we were told maybe 2-3 years ago. So now it's 100%. Is that what I'm getting?
I don't
Uh,
know what the percentage will be, but what it means, I think it's saying that we need mostly there should be
what?
Zambians for Zambians. So like, because we have a lot of smaller individual or well, smaller, suppliers, smaller people, smaller companies, that are involved in that supply chain, but they're saying it should be 100% Zambian. First of all, Zambian should be given first hand or first choice in any way, to be able
Okay.
to supply or to do anything. It should be a Zambian.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
The
Yeah.
thing the thing is, when the investors come in these mining establishments, Wakombe maybe it can come in here. But when these Zambians, I mean the investors come in the mining sector, they invest their money, of course, to run the mine. But there's a big chunk of money of that investment that is accounted for local supply. They need pipes, they need this, they need vehicles to do this, they need all those things to maintain the mine. So that is a big chunk of money out of the so-called investment money they bring in. Now, what they used to do, these guys, they would form little companies so that the supplying for the pipes for this and that, the tanks and all the generators and the motors that are required when one breaks down, they used to again give themselves those contracts or those business opportunities to supply the same. And so it's the same people. They used to form these little companies using certain Zambian names in forefront, and but in this in underground they were the same people getting the same money. The same investors established supply companies in Zambia, and they were getting the money, and no Zambians were benefiting out of this. So now this
Mm.
bill says when you need a motor to replace the broken motor in the mines, I'm told some of those motors they can even be as $500,000 one. So if you want that motor that has broken down will be supplied by a Zambian company owned by 100% Zambian. Not that it's owned
Hmm.
by a foreigner plus a Zambian. No, it has to be Zambian. There should be no foreigner with any shares in that company that's going to supply that motor. It should be 100% owned by a Zambian. So that's what Kabuswe said, because he said, I know that there are a lot of companies that have been using, like, a name of a Zambian in the forefront, but the big guys underneath here are all foreigners. Okay. So now they will be investigating, they will be going to, is that Pakra, whatever.
Hmm.
Pakra, yeah, that's where you get you.
Checking that the owners of that company that's given that contract, not a single one of them is a foreigner. It's only Zambians, he calls it. And those are the ones who will be supplying the mines with the services they need from now on. Okay, so which is very, very good. It excited a lot. I mean, a lot of suppliers. I know a number of suppliers there. One of them actually has a son here in Canada. I talked to him. He says that's the best that can happen to us as Zambians. Now we're gonna get a big chunk of money out of this one, because they were just seeing these deals passing right in front of their eyes, and they didn't know what was going on, because those guys are the cartel. to do that, but now it won't happen. And the whistleblowers have been encouraged. If you see something, bring it to the minister, and the minister will act. Okay, so this is a very good thing for our Zambian colleagues on the copper belt. At least we're gonna see money circulating in the area. Yeah.
Before Makombe comes in, can I be a devil's advocate on this for just a
Go
moment?
ahead.
I mean, it's a brilliant piece of legislation, I believe. We love it because, of course, it caters Zambia. But at the end of it all, I mean, there's been some allegations from these mine owners, the foreign ones, who says, well, we used to give businesses to Zambians, but guess what? Zambians would take the money and they would never supply, or they didn't have the capacity to give them what they need. So what happens to those people? That's my devil's advocate. Have they looked into that as well? Because we do have our own people who get these deals and then they don't supply anything. Or the supply hot water. That situation is still ongoing as we speak.
Yeah.
But
What
no.
are they-
Okay. So
Go ahead.
yeah. So on that one, yes, they've also, it's part of the actual bill actually. So it's part of the legal
Okay.
framework. So
Okay.
they're saying they should empower and make sure that they train the local, if it's their suppliers for various sectors, making sure that they have the capacity. And for example, if we have like 50 people supplying KCM should make sure that those 50 people who are local Zambian have that capacity, and they've trained them, and they've actually empowered even them to say, okay, guys, if you have so gamma track oil, whatever it is, we'll train you to drive these trucks to bring them from point A to point B. So all those things is part of the legal framework, and penalties are going to be hammered on the companies if they don't comply to this. It's a serious actually bill. The way I was just looking at it briefly, but it's going to be serious. So I
I
don't know.
think it still hasn't answered the question of our own people supplying hot air to these miners, because that is an issue. And it's a big issue.
I don't think that is going to be an issue from now going forward.
Okay.
From now, because you look at it this way, if this is put in place, imagine you're a company and you're dealing with a supplier, and for them to say they are supplying amatava, but them supply amatava, but them supply afyameji, then there should be there's that in between the one company and the other, they're conniving, right? So for them to say, oh no, we can't do that because it's going to be against the law, and if we connive in this kind of business, we're going to have penalties. The government is going to penalize us. So now I'm in law now, all those things are going to be avoided. But if you could start supply umwela, because those things were happening because they were allowing them because they were conniving with the companies.
Yeah. The other thing about supplying umwela, it's all about companies as well being corrupt, especially when it comes to government type of deals, whereby normal companies like KCM, I mean, these mining companies, they will not give you 50% of the money down before you supply. No, they'll give you minimum amount. You have to have your own capacity in the beginning. There's no way they're going to do it the way they are doing it in government contracts, where they give you 75, malembe, 75% of the money upfront. No, that is corruption. It will not happen. But I think what the other thing that the government was trying to promote, other than promoting our brothers and sisters who are Zambians, they are saying we are making our own motors, for example, in Zambia, and we are making our own batteries in Zambia. We're making our own copper wires in Zambia. Okay, so they are saying there's no way you're going to import copper wires before you buy copper wires from Chongwe. There's no way you're going to get batteries out of Zambia before you buy our own locally manufactured batteries from Chongwe. So, and we have a company making motors, electric motors now. It's assembling whatever. So that's one other aspect. Other than empowering our people, we are also empowering our own companies that are making these things that the mines need. So that's another facet, other than just talking about Zambian companies. That's why I say local content bill. You will have to use what we have first. If we don't have it in Zambia, that's when we can import it. Because there are things, for example, they were importing buckets, plastic buckets, which I'm told in Zambia there's the plastic company that make those buckets and bins and stuff. No need to buy those things outside the country. So it's a bill which is promoting both small scale, suppliers, as well as is looking ahead to say, you don't import unless we don't have that thing locally. That's another facet we have to be looking at. Okay.
Yeah,
but it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we are starting from somewhere, because this is going to promote the companies that are now coming to invest in Zambia. We will know that they'll be able to sell things, and the mines are always very big customer in most of these things. Okay, so they will know that we have the local market. Okay, other than them struggling to export all the time, export, they can sell locally to the mines. And that's a huge market for some of these products. Okay.
Yes. Wakombe, I think it's back. Wakombe, do you have a...
No, he's not back yet.
I saw him. Oh, he's gone again.
Yeah, he's not.
All right, can I quickly chime in here and ask another question regarding to this local content bill?
Yeah, local content.
Yeah, that seems to be exciting a lot of people, such as Batufia and the dog here. I'm excited. I'm reserved because there are also these allegations that have been going on for the last 4 years, where we are told on the copper belt there is a cartel of suppliers who are being given these deals, working with our own people. The other suppliers are being shunned. What are we doing about that? Because at the top of that chain, it's an allegation of our very own minister.
Well,
somebody come in.
And I think that's a
we're not going to run away from that.
Yes, that's a reason why they are insisting that these companies should not only have a Zambian name in front, because that's where corruption used to happen. There was a Zambian face of a Zambian in front, and then behind were these foreigners. And because that person is influential, he's got connections, they used to use this guy in front. But if you go to Pakra, you literally find that this guy is there, and then the whole board of directors is foreigners. Okay, but they're using his name to get these contracts because he's got contacts. Now, whistleblowers are encouraged to report such type of thing. We don't just need a Zambian in front, we need a Zambian board. The whole company should be 100% owned by Zambians, not just there's only one Zambian there and the rest are no. So this is somebody will go to jail, someone will be fired, because they are very serious about, because this has been mentioned. It's not just, I have shares in that company and the rest are foreigners, so I have the right to get a contract. No. If you have a company with foreigners, fine, but you are not going to get that contract in the mines, because what we are looking for is a company owned 100% by Zambians. Some of these allegations we've had is that the foreigners were using our own people as a front. Okay, so they own everything. They put a name there, Danny, you're in front. Go and talk to this minister. You know these people at State House or whatever. Then they used to get corrupt. That was corruption. So that thing has been. The government has realized that what was happening, exactly what you have said, Bakalinda, and it will not happen anymore. It will not, because those people that do those type of things, they'll be punished, regardless of whether they're shareholders in that company or not. because the rules have changed. It's 100% Zambian. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% Zambian. So yeah, this is, I think, it's something that we need to be proud of. One, because we are now looking at, an economy that's going to be 100%, powered. We're going to, empower the local people, especially the small businesses. You have a small business, you're a small supplier, your business will be growing, and instead of that money going outside the country, that money will remain within the country, because we are going to utilize what's within first before we look outside.
Yeah.
And that's going to create a lot of jobs in the long run, and it's going to create for small businesses to grow. So
Even
yeah,
even big businesses, manufacturers that are opening up now, they
exactly.
have the market.
Yeah. So all these multi-facility zones that we are opening up across the country now are going to be encouraged to say, you know what, let's start producing more, and because just recently I was watching, there's a company that actually now is manufacturing medical equipment within Zambia. I was like, wow, I think we're moving in the right trajectory. If we can now start producing and manufacturing medical beds, medical equipment, all that stuff within Zambia, I think that's the big plus. That's the big plus. So before the government, even themselves, they go to say, oh, can we import? They say, why would we import when we can just buy within, and look within. So same thing. It works the same way. So it's actually it's a brilliant bill. I think it's something that's been talked about years and years and years and years. We cannot talk about our friends. They've been discussing it for years, but they never implemented it. So now this is where the government is coming in, and say a serious government has come in and put its foot down to say, let's implement it. Let's put the foot down, let's implement it, and let's empower local people.
Perfecto.
Yeah.
Kwenyu.
Cheva kwenyu eka wakalindayo.
Ni kwenyu.
So the opposition, who's going to be? I don't understand the PFP there. I think PFP kupakwa PFP kuzona. I thought it's going to at least remain a little bit. And I think the prediction that we were talking about in the past months, I think even from last year, we were like, you know what, these guys, the way they are going, immediately when their leader died, yeah, it's been a disaster. It's been a disaster. I've been listening to some audios from PF. I'm like, oh my God, they're fighting within each other. And they keep on accusing each other. And then they're talking about there's a new leader at Mundolo. Have you guys heard of that guy before?
No.
The one in South Africa.
Eh.
But I hear that man, I don't know how you even mention a man who is facing a jail time in South Africa because of his involvement. Yes. He is Bushiri's surrogate. He's facing a he's facing a serious fraudulent charge of involving over 102 billion rands in South Africa.
They were stealing gold together with Bushiri.
Oh.
Gold blocks, bricks of gold. Yeah, from South Africa. Then they were using his religious privileges, and then they used to bring it around. Then they used to export it whatever all around the world. So it was a gold dealer.
So how are you going to say that's the man who's going to lead the party if he's surrounded with such criminality?
The thing is, PF right now, anyone who's got money to them, that's a leader. Anyone.
Remember, didn't they mention James Ndambo until a veteran politician, Veron Wanga had to clear that up.
Yep.
The man is not interested.
They are looking at anybody who can spend his own money to join them and then spend his money. That's why they want Tasila to stand. Okay? Because they know
Tasila doesn't qualify. How does Tasila stand with dual citizenship? The only reason that she went through in Parliament is because the father was there.
No,
I
but
mean,
it's very
under this little dawn,
it's very easy to give up. In citizenship, you can give it up in a second.
Yes, she has, but you are also forgetting the clause in our constitution that you can only seek that higher office if you have been domiciled in Zambia for 20 years. Has she? Bamwapiring mwe bantu.
So the thing is that this is the real problem with the opposition in Zambia is that the truth is there's no funding. They don't have money. They are broke. Okay?
They have money. What about all the money they stole? Where is that money?
The money they stole, they were not ready to. They didn't know that they would lose in 2021. They thought they were going to be there for it. Honestly, if you ask any PF person, they didn't realize that was the end of their political careers. I know a lot of prominent PF guys who said it straight in my face that we were caught unawares. The loss was really they had not planned that. Oh my goodness! So they were spending. People were building poultry farms for $5 million. Yes, US dollars. Poultry farm, and then they lost immediately after installing that poultry farm. They lost, and now the poultry farm produces these electrical, technological what. And now you disband it into a normal Zambian poultry farm.
And then some of the equipment went to the girlfriend.
Yes. Okay. So imagine if he knew that he was going to lose, because that poultry farm was installed in February. In August they lost. If he knew they knew that they were going to keep the $5 million in his account, but they were so careless with the money. They were thinking this is going to go on for another 5 years. And yet, boom.
I think even just to come out to say I've got the money, they are scared.
Yes.
Because you see, they are scared as well. Because they might have the money, but they are scared. They are scared because they know that once I come out like I'm the guy, the government will start following me.
Rachanda, you can't hide money, It's very difficult to hide money. Money is very difficult to hide. When you have it, even your skin will show. Okay? I'm telling you, it's very difficult to hide money. Money, you can say, "Oh, I'm not." It's very difficult. But these guys, honestly, they put so much money in Lungu. Lungu had, of course, so much money.
Yeah,
and that's why they were worshiping him like a hero. I mean, like a god. But as well, we put spanners in Lungu's money. Lungu died without accessing his money. That's why he was so desperate to do whatever he was doing. The money Lungu stole, we have lost it. Most likely, just like Chiluba and all these guys, we have lost that money. Lungu definitely had tons and tons of money at the time of his death. And I don't think we're going to recover that ever.
Well, that's why they've got no interest of coming back to Zambia.
Yeah.
Because they know the money is not in Zambia.
Yeah.
The money is outside.
And so the few PF so-called leaders who have got a little bit of money to spend on their own, the only one who has got a bit of money is Munduvire. That's it. And
but Munduvire also comes in there with a crowd of dishonesty with his money. I mean, he's got that tag where he was given that road construction deal that he never built. So, I mean.
And you're dealing with Mukula too. It was a Mukula guy.
There you go.
So,
yeah. So he has that. behind
sawmill,
that.
whatever he was calling a sawmill. He was cutting trees and doing all sorts of
Mm.
But he's the only one who has a bit of cash in his account, I think. Other than
Oh, I mean, if he stands, then we follow him up. He needs to give up whatever he stole to the people.
and right now, that's why he doesn't want to bring so many people next to him, because that means spending. So that's why you see Munduvire is just talking as alone. He's talking on his own. On the left, there'll be one person, and the other side, one person, not a group, no, because he knows all these guys will gobble his money. So he's just talking as an individual because he knows that.
Bakombe is back.
Yes, I think he was listening to us on his way home or somewhere in the office, I guess.
I was.
Yeah. So what do you think about the PF?
Well, it's an interesting situation that they have. First and foremost, I personally welcome anyone they want to field. And we should encourage that as Zambians. Whoever wants to stand, wants to get in the arena, please welcome. And just know this is a big boys game. So, come expecting anything. But I think we should encourage people to run. That's their right as citizens. If they want to run, be it what's his name, the lawyer, Sangwa, be it Sangwa or the guy, the Zambian in South Africa. I welcome that. I think competition is good for democracy, and that's exactly what we voted for people to have voices to say, I want to stand. Then once they announce, then we can scrutinize them. We can ask them as citizens. And if they want to come in, if you look at the talking points for the PF and the opposition, they always say, they'll never tell you how he has spelled, what they think they are going to do differently from what they did the last 10 years they were in power. They never say that. And this is where I press them always. I always tell my colleagues, I have very good friends from the opposition. I always tell them, you want to get into power. What are you going to do differently from what the president is doing and from what you did the last 10 years you were in power as PF? And then if you're saying HH has failed, tell me where it has failed compared to who. Let's compare it to maybe your administration, which was the PF. Let's do that. And that's where they wander away and they start mumbling. So we encourage, I personally want people to, if they feel they want to challenge the president, jump in the race. It's good for all of us. It's good for, if there's competition at the parliamentarian level, MP level, that's great, because that will push even our UPND members of parliament to work hard. They should know that there's competition out there. So I think competition, wherever there's competition, is the consumer that always wins. In this case, the Zambian people. So I welcome anybody they want to field. There's a lot of confusion. It's good that everything has died down in the case of bringing the body of the late president. Now we are able to see who PF is. They cannot. Nobody has come up as a leader. They can't. They feel everyone can lead. And that's their problem. Let's wait for them to sort it out. We don't even know who the leader is. Is it Chavinga? Is it Mao Sampa? Is it Munduile? Is it the talkative Nakachinda? Nakachinda has no constituency. He has no following. The man just speaks. It's unbelievable. And when he goes to, I watch him very closely when he goes to all these debates. He intimidates the journalists, and it's very unfortunate. If he feels he should be given a podium, let him prove in his own party. Let him debate. Let him debate UPND colleagues too. So I think we are less than a year to go, and our friends are having a very big problem right now in their camp.
Fantastic. What everybody's saying is the truth. I mean, there's no, like when we say there's no opposition, people are saying, oh, don't say that. But look, really, there isn't any opposition, because the opposition is is all spread across, and there's no unity within the opposition. The strongest party that once existed, the PF, is now in its last kick. It's just a cry, of one of those like quite fetch you and so the PF is gone. And if you look at all these individual leaders that they call themselves the leaders right now within the PF, if we go name by name, and if we put that name against HH, back to back, I don't think if we ask any Zambian, just walk out around the streets of Lusaka and say, oh, would you rather have Sean Tembo as your president or HH as your president? I can bet you $1 million the people of Zambia will say, we want HH. Do you want who are the leaders there? I don't even know. Kalava. Do you want Kalava with HH? People say, no, we want HH. Do you want Nakachinda or HH? People will say, no, we want HH. Okay? Because people are seeing what the current president is doing for the people of Zambia. We've never seen anything from the opposition. We've never, even them as individual capacities, whether they served in the government or not, we've not seen anything that we can say, oh, when he was in the opposition, this is what he did. He did this, he did that, he did this. There's nothing that we can point at, So we don't have any powerful opposition. Even the opposition that was, if you look at even the people that became presidents, look at the Michael Sata. The Michael Sata, before he became a president, you can say that I built Mezaf, I built Kajema, I built the bank houses,
and he cleaned up Lusaka City.
Is it? So he was able to do that, and people would say, yeah, but judging, people would agree. He said, I'm one day judging. You see? So people can buy to your story based on your capabilities. Okay? Not to move with you. Not to move with you. Now we mean never, no, HH Wabufi, HH. Okay, well, HH Wabufi, what truth are you going to give us as the Zambian people? HH Wabufi. If ever allowed to pay
Mwamba is producing those daily video. What do they daily podcast, whatever they call them?
Yeah.
From wherever he is in the US, he's producing those daily ones, and they're distributing them and all over the world, or the Zambians. I don't know how many people are listening to Mwamba's daily podcast.
Nobody cares.
No, people, but you know what? Here's the thing, guys. People actually listen to those things. See, that's the most dangerous part is this. People listen to, they like to listen to propaganda than the truth.
And this is where, Bachanda, for me, I see it very differently. As a UPND sympathizer, I'm a member of the UPND, but I differ with my colleagues when they say there's no opposition. As a strategist, I think the way I look at it, there's always opposition. Always. I'll give you an example in the history of our country. In 1991, people did not many people went for MMD because they had campaigned well. They voted against Kaunda. So when Chiluba came up, who was not even the front runner, was not even the most popular candidate, he came up, won the election overwhelmingly. It's because people voted against UNIP. I'll fast forward to 2011. 2011, people were tired of the MMD. I'll come to 2015. It's not that Lungu was the best candidate. I mean, the man came up and said, I have no policies or ideas to give you. I'll just continue what Mr. Sata was doing. People overwhelmingly voted for him. not because he was the best, but because they were voting against MMD. So equally in this moment, as UPND, that's the reason I would
I
urge all
can't.
UPND members, you
Uh-huh.
always have to know that you're going to have an opposition. The opposition that we have today might be the economy running against the president. So it doesn't matter whom they field, you get votes. So that's the reason why our focus should be on highlighting what the president is doing, debating, explaining to the most smallest, minute explanation to local Zambians to make them understand free education, make them understand how CDF has improved the economy. If we don't do that and we just say, look at what the president is doing great, people like Mwamba, that's where they come in with the propaganda. That is going to be our opposition. So we always have an opposition until we win. So my strategy for me and my appeal to my UPND colleagues is don't be reluctant. It doesn't matter if the PF choose, let me just say, KBF. People will not vote for KBF, but people who are PF sympathizers or people who are hurt in the economy, actually, let's not just say sympathizers, even people who feel they're disadvantaged or defranchised in the economy, they'll vote against Akainde Ichilem. So we always have an opposition. There might be squabbles here and there, but let's be very careful with that. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? No, actually, what you're saying is the truth. What you're saying is the truth. But the thing is, politics is a game. It's a game. And the way it is this. If you listen to what the opposition is saying, if you listen to them very carefully, they're singing one song. This is a one-term president. Okay? This is a one-term president. So that is also a campaign message on their own.
Correct. It's a deliberate message they're putting forward.
We're not really saying that there's no opposition. We know the opposition is there, but it's a weak opposition. But we are saying there's no opposition, just to drill in the people's minds to say, look, the opposition that is existing is incomparable to HH. So that's why I even went to president and compared the CV ya kwa HH na CV ya each and every candidate. It's incomparable. Like, even by John Sangwa, as much as he's a brilliant legal mind, I don't think he has the solutions for Zambia. I don't think so. And I don't think Omwina Zambia kuti achitana kane alanda tawe vaichecho formula chitefifire kene turefa tivotera oyo nawe bane navamona look umuntu uli yonse fye alakwatako averenga how situations are moving. Economy, the way the economy works anywhere in the world, it will not just happen abruptly, but there should be a progress in which the economy is moving. So if most of individuals are saying, oh, there's nothing that this current government has done, but you cannot say there's nothing. Okay, that's just the word that the opposition is using. What about education? How many teachers have been employed? Okay, what about all these young kids that are waking up in the morning going to school for free? What about food, programs that have been introduced? Instead of the kids per break time takwete ndalama ale mfaniso ni mwana kuliyama food programs they're feeding them. Okay, so all these issues, they're going down deep kubana banono. And then if you ask kuliyomwana over free food next year takwaka befi because refer tumfunye po HH tulete po banani kan tulete po ba mundubiro ba mondolo whatever his name is. They're not going to believe it. So the opposition is there, but it's weak. If they're singing a song, we also have to sing a song. And our song is there's no opposition. Their song is our president is a one-term president. So these are campaign songs, slogans. So who's going to win? We're gonna look at the track record.
Can I
Go
come
ahead.
in?
Come in. Yep.
To me, I agree with both of you, and Wakombe, what you're saying is correct. But to me, I look at it from a multifactorial angle, from the historical point of view. There are a lot of factors that really come and converge in Zambia to see that, yes, here, the current government is going. It's not one factor. There are many factors. To me, the most important factor, of course, that really gives me idea. I mean, signs that this government is getting out is of course, the widespread of what I would call the economic hardships of people. In Zambia, it reaches a point. Zambians are very resilient people. They can adapt to an increase in prices, increase in fuel, and what. But there comes a time when they say enough is enough, and that happens a lot in just before the regime loses power. Zambians say, "Okay, now this is too much. We can't bear this." Okay, and at the moment, I think we haven't reached that stage yet. That's one sign that I've always observed in terms of political change in Zambia. The other one I've observed is the president himself loses popularity among Zambians. Okay, they will start insulting. An ordinary person will start insulting. Oh, President Ichi. You start seeing disrespecting the president. Every little boy on the street and little girl just says, but president, everyone talks ill about the president in the streets. Everywhere you go. Kachiruba, they were saying, oh, no, what, all that type of thing. If you're So you see that sign, and you know that this regime is definitely going. And then people, the other thing that you're going to see, the ruling party that is in power, people do not want to associate with it. They will be saying, oh, no, me, I'm not UPND, me, I'm PF. So people would want to associate themselves at that time with the opposition party. That's a big sign in Zambia, I've seen, where during MMD, when MMD was getting defeated, everyone wanted to be associated with PF. No, me, I'm PF. Me, I'm this, So, and now in 2021, everyone was saying, no, me, I'm UPND. Chad Diva, red, forward. Everyone in the street was chanting those type of words. So there's some kind of discontent with the ruling party starts getting unpopular in the streets, in the Cairo Road. Nobody wants to associate himself with it. And I think we haven't yet reached that stage. But one big thing that I've also observed in Zambia in terms of unseating the ruling party is the unification of the parties, political parties. They become gelled together. There's a force that brings them together. They speak with one voice. Okay. When you see that happening, you will see this party will come with this. They have they have a joint press conference and this, and they become friends. Opposition parties become very, very close friends. They speak with one voice. Then I know that these things are bad. Okay, all that is not happening yet. Unrest. I know this is not an ideal sign, but I've also associated youth unrest in the country to be associated with the unseating of the government. The moment you start seeing civil unrest, student unrest, public protests, and all this type of thing, I know you might say it's too early to start, but I remember when I was at UNSA myself, we started 2 years before the elections. We were already marching to State House and all that type of thing. So by now, we should have seen some mobilization or what. We have a few months to go. By now, if we were going to be unpopular, that was going to be. And the media as well. The last thing that I've observed is the media. The media becomes very independent. They want to say things on their own, and then the government will come after them and all that, shutting down every regime that has gone out. has gone after the media before they are out. The moment you start seeing people closing radio stations and TV stations, the Chiluba tried it, the MMD tried it. And the moment you start seeing that, then you know that they're out. And we are not doing that, and we are not seeing those signs. So there are a lot of things that, to me, have not yet materialized for us to say we shouldn't relax. Me, I'm relaxed. As far as I'm concerned, the signs of us getting out are not there, and our president is doing great. Until I start seeing some of these 5 or 6 signs that I've just mentioned come up, I'm good. And to be honest, I'm not saying that when I say relaxed, I'm not saying that I'm just going to sit and then let the things work on their own. No, we are working as usual, but there's no room for concern as far as I'm concerned. We are doing great. What we are doing, we are registering voters. We are going. The MPs are explaining these things, and they're doing great in their constituencies. So I think all is well. No need to worry at the moment. Let's continue what we're doing, and all will be fine. Tabindele yesterday, did you hear what he told the opposition? He said the opposition should start getting ready to organize themselves for 2031.
2031.
He said, I would advise the opposition to start getting ready for 2031.
Wow.
That was a statement he made yesterday. He said, as a seasoned politician, let me just give advice to the opposition. I think it's time for you to start getting ready for 2031.
But you know what? That's an honest. That's an honest advice. Yeah. That's an honest advice. I can see it even myself.
Kabindele says 2026 is gone because, for example, because he said, first of all, you have to find your leadership. You have to go for a convention. You have to, within this 5, 6, 7, basically we only have 6, 7 months to go. You can't do all these things within 6 months and sell your candidate. It's impossible. That's why he said, you guys, I think your chance is 2031. Start thinking about 2030 because PF in the first place, they need to clarify who their president is, and that will take months in court. Months.
Yeah, it will take years. Yes. I'm telling you, with the way things are, it's gonna take years.
That's problem number 1 for PF. Okay, just to come up with who their president is, it will take months in court. Okay. And they go to court today, they'll say, it's Jan to March next year. March next year, so it's September. And the elections will be gone. So they have huge problems, opposition, to do it, to come up with credible candidates to challenge our president. So let's continue what we're doing. And to me, from the medical field aspects, the clinical signs are not there for any disease. So the animal is healthy.
That's a good analysis.
With a healthy animal.
That's a good analysis. Yes. Yeah. So let's go to the last topic, guys. So the last topic is we're looking at the Northern Circuit. Remember, quali Iran exposition in the Northern Circuit. And yes. So Vasistas Mulenga, I think I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Sextus.
What's his name again?
Sextus Mulenga.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah. So he's been a giant in that industry for years. He's worked
quiet giant.
He's worked for during the ZCCM time. He's one of the largest guys. And he's the only Zambian that actually owns a mine in the Northern Circuit. Now, when they sat with our president, of course they exchanged ideas, and he said, "Look, the Northern Circuit need only 3 mines. What we need for the Northern Province to be where it's supposed to be is we only need 3 mines: a gold mine, a copper mine, and a phosphate mine. And all these minerals are available and abundant and have not been explored yet in the Northern Circuit." Okay. And so now you can imagine this. Weeks later, what do we see? We see the CEO of uh, what is it? Is it Mingomba? He was at State House. Okay. Then they're discussing of expanding. Okay. So these are the things that are possible. And we're looking at issues, and we shouldn't just concentrate on mining just to be the copper belt only. Minerals are everywhere in this country. Minerals are everywhere. Now you can imagine if the Northern Circuit has 3 big mines. Imagine what's going to happen to change the lives of the people of the Northern Circuit. It's going to be a huge change. It's going to be a huge, big impact on the economy of Zambia, because not only will people want to travel out of the Northern Circuit to go to the Copper Belt, come to Lusaka to look for jobs, people will remain within. So there will be that retention of qualified individuals, all these smart guys. Like I spent like 3 years in Wapla province, and I met some brilliant guys, brilliant individuals, local guys that just live in villages in a thatched house. But when you sit at the desk there, very smart individuals. Now you can imagine that kind of talent is not tapped in because of the cities and the towns are not developed, because there's nothing for them there. It's just a village. So if we bring in 3 big mines in the Northern Circuit, oh man, then the Northern Circuit will be like the way the Copper Belt used to look like back in the day. I don't know, you guys, what you think.
Go ahead, Wakombe.
That's very encouraging news, and it's every Zambian should be excited about that. I think the president's push for Zambia to be mapped, where they engaged a company to go around the country and find out where the minerals are, what's the depth. That was a brilliant move. And I'm just getting it from you about the 3 minerals in the Northern Circuit, as you call it. It's very exciting. But for me, what is my appeal to government has always been encourage Zambians to invest. Let's not wait for foreigners to come in and pump in 100 million, say in Luapula, to mine. If I am government, I would rather have Zambians teaming up and pumping in 40 million. That is a worthy investment, because the money that will be realized is plowed back in the country. Those companies that come, I mean, don't get me wrong, investors are good, the money is good, it's a good thing to do. But when they come in and they put in 100 million, I can guarantee you 90% of their profits, if not 95, will be siphoned out of the country. So now what good does it do? Now, I understand one might argue and say, hey, maybe the investor is more skilled and they know what they're doing. Most Zambians would not have the knowledge. I agree if nobody has the knowledge. But as we speak today, we have a lot of engineers, we have a lot of geologists, all these mining engineers, people with business degrees that can run mines or even companies like that. Zambia should start looking inward. It's about time. I would urge the president to start looking inward before you go out. All these companies that are coming in, cobalt mining, dumping in 2 billion, they're ready to invest 2 billion. Can you imagine how much they'll get out? And how much of that will even trickle down to a regular Zambian? That's where my fear is. So in as much as investment, encouraging investors is a very good thing to do, the government they should introduce a deliberate policy where they encourage indigenous Zambians to invest in some of these ventures. Because you are rest assured, if money is realized from that company by Zambians, that majority of the profits will be plowed back in the economy. Other sectors, those Zambians will reinvest. So to see that it's the discovery of those minerals is a welcome thing, but we should be very careful not to sell out our natural resources to people who just come in and dangle shiny objects. Yes, they'll invest, they'll put in 100 million or 200 million. How much are they going to realize in the coming 10, 15 years or 5 years? How much of that will remain in Zambia? That's what we should look at. Because if we are looking at numbers, we are doing well on all these numbers, and yet the country is lagging behind in terms of development as a country, from the health sector, education, energy, then we're not doing anything as a country. It's about time our natural resources start growing the economy and even growing our country in terms of development. I like the CDF approach, where the president said from the jump he wants to decentralize the government. This is one area. Those places should start to grow, so we don't have people migrating to the Copper Belt or migrating to Lusaka for jobs or better opportunities. They're going to find opportunities where they are. And this is not just mining. If you look at other provinces, all these ministers should be encouraged to find out what they're good at and capitalize on that. If it's agriculture, if it's Eastern Province and farming of groundnuts and other things, pumping money in there so that that economy of that province starts to grow. If all provinces start hitting at the same time, all cylinders hitting, we'll be unstoppable. The country will grow. So I love the discovery, but I hope they look inward first. Let's not give these big contracts to all these investors who are coming just because maybe a top guy minister is benefiting. That's him. After 5, 10 years, he's out of office. He's set with his family. But then the rest of the 20 million Zambians are left to see these monies be siphoned out. A good example, before I stop talking about it very quickly, is look at the discovery of Suglite. Did we know that millions of dollars were being realized from this mineral? No, we didn't. For those of you who have lived on the belt, on the Copper Belt, let's look at Kaja mining and the gems that they mine from there. Millions of dollars are being realized, and are being realized for all these years. Has Zambia gotten a cut from it? Our schools are still lagging behind on the Copper Belt. Hospitals, we only have one major hospital in Kitwe. You see?
I've actually been to Kajem. I want to say one individual there, but I can tell you about
So that this goes down, this comes from the way you sell an industry. And most of these sales, for instance, the sale of the mines, or somebody's trying to explore, these things should start going through Parliament, where the committee sits and goes through it. It's public knowledge. People can see. Because if we just encourage governments to sign concessions and agreements, the country will be lagging behind, because those deals will only benefit the people who are sitting on those boards. These natural resources are for Zambians, all Zambians, because Zambia, I won't say, all Zambians. So we should safeguard these discoveries, these minerals, these natural resources. So for me, I look beyond the announcements that are made when an investor comes in and they're ready. You see them in suits and they're signing, they're dropping 100 million. The first question that comes to me is, how much are they making in 5 years? They're laughing because they know how much they'll make. Okay? So we need to start. I would urge the government to start critically looking at that. And I like where the president is going on this. And I think that most of these should be public so that people know.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's give chance to Vakalinda. Are you there, Vakalinda? Let's have our beautiful journalist give us some insight on this.
All right, I'm back now. One of my systems here crashed, so I'm to the bank store.
Oh,
Anyway, I can talk now.
Okay, go ahead.
Are we saying goodbye? Where are we?
Okay. You know where we are. We're just on the last topic, which is the president of Zambia just announced that there's a plan to actually invest in 3 huge mines in the northern circuit, Muchinga area especially. Because there's gold, there's phosphate, and there's copper. So 3 huge mines. Once that is set, then we'll have another belt. Instead of just having the copper belt, but Muchinga will be just another belt as well that will have all these huge conglomerates that is going to employ thousands and thousands of people.
Ah,
Mhm.
I mean, it's a good move. I mean, for me, all these minerals that they're finding, I am worried about the reliance in foreign, partners to come and invest. I mean, where does that leave our own people? I mean, wasn't it just announced recently that we have how much about is that $200 billion in reserve for gold?
Mhm.
Why can't we use some of that money to, I mean, I think, just to open our own minds, let our own people run it. Why can't we do that? I mean, it's all good and dandy. I mean, we welcome the announcements, but I think we could do more. We could do more, and we could do better for our people, because I'm telling you, these coming elections, I mean, yes, we're saying it's a walkover, but we do have people who are hurting back home. So
Hey,
the sooner we
Zambia's always been
fix
like
some of
that.
these bottlenecks, the
All,
better.
all the time. Zambia's always, people are hating all the time. That's how Zambia has been. This time you're Vakaunda.
We
It's
came on
different
the
now.
premise that we're gonna make better. We're gonna make it better for the people, right? But when people are seeing that, anyway, let me use the Nyanja. But Kusogoro, they are getting bigger stomachs, bigger cars. And then they are left in the dust. That's gonna hurt us, because those are the people that we need to vote.
Okay.
As we speak, I mean, there are already allegations that we are colluding with some PF. I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves. Yes, we're doing. I mean, the president. I'll let you out off the bat. The president is with the people, but the people that surround him are not good for the people. At least most of them, or some of them. We need to look inside ourselves. Like Abakombe says, the opposition is not PF, it's not Socialist Party, it's not whatever EF, whatever party is out there. The opposition is with the people. We take care of the people, we are better. And that's my contribution. Kudos to all these minds that are being opened, but let's take care of our own first.
But Danny, Dr. Dan.
All right. Our sister, my has spoken. My Shigatende sister. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you, but as far as I'm concerned, everything has a threshold, what we call in science as threshold. I think this threshold has not reached that level of us worrying yet. As my brother here, Chirusha, said, Zambia has always had people that are struggling. I was struggling when I was growing up in the Kaunda era and all that. My family were 13 of us. We had 1 meal per day and all that type of thing. So we always have that type of people in our society. We cannot eradicate poverty or suffering completely. But anyway, aside from that, let me go back to the threshold of people starting protesting, going on the street, that is enough, not Chula. I don't think it's there yet. We are okay. We are good. We are good as Zambians. We are working hard. We'll be fine. Minerals. One thing I should, as somebody who has lived abroad for a long time and who is following the trends of where our world economy is going, the trends that are going in. Right now we are in the what is known as the AI era. Yeah, the last 3-4 years, AI came into our world, and I'm so glad that our president realized he was one of the first people, one of the first African president that jumped onto the benefits of jumping onto the AI technology to actually bring in what is known as AI-driven digital mineral exploration software. We were one of the first African countries to do that. And he brought in this. And what this has done to our country is to put together all the pieces that we've been exploring minerals in Zambia since whatever. Before even independence, we were doing these pocket explorations. This guy is given a little thing in Muchinga, in this, in that. But what has happened now with the AI technology is that all these little pockets, the data that we've had for many, many years, it has put them together like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay? AI is capable of doing that. And what it does, now it has put down all these little isolated information we had together. So basically the whole country right now, we know what we have. Okay? It is capable of doing that. It's if you look at in Egypt, what they've done in the pyramids with AI, they were getting these pieces of pots and pottery and writings on the wall which they couldn't interpret. People are getting PhDs in archaeology and all this type of thing. They bring AI within 5 minutes. It solves the problem that all these little pieces of pottery, it just puts this one should come here, this one should come here. Boom, they have pots. They have all these vessels assembled within minutes. Okay, human beings were not capable of doing that. Now AI has come, and our president jumped onto this, and he has mapped our country very, very well. Now we know what we have. As of 2-3 years ago, we know what we have. We know the amounts of minerals we have. And this is huge. We should say thank you to our president. I'm telling you, we were sitting on gold. We were sitting on these minerals. We didn't know. We had just this isolated data from here and there. But now with the use of this AI technology, though some people are saying the companies that are doing it are questionable, and Bill Gates and Musk, but it's okay. We are benefiting as a country. We know what we have. As of today, we know every corner of our country what we have. And that's why we're opening all these minerals. So it's very, very important that we acknowledge that without our president's vision of doing this, we will still be doing those isolated pocket, explorations. And you give this guy, he comes with a drill and he does this and all that. But this is very, very good. Now, going forward, as Wakombia said, we're going to see a lot of minerals, mines that are going to be opened, because now we know what we have, 100%. All right. So we're going to see a lot of mines being opened. But as the funding, as my brother said here, I think we should source it within our country, or if not within our country, within our region or something like that. African funding, it's what we need. But as a country, I think we lack something. We are not very much gifted into fund management. Sangwa mentioned something that resonated with me when he said, I only need $1, 100 kwacha from every 1 million Zambians, and I'll be able to run my campaign. That is true. If we can do that, that's true. You can have a lot of money by just 100 kwacha contribution from 1 million Zambians. You have a lot of money. The same thing with managing our mines. We need to come up with these fund managers that are capable of organizing money, little amounts of money from many, many people to come up with a big pocket of money. Our friends in Ghana, our friends in Kenya are doing it, but they're doing it for the diaspora, because I know a friend of mine who is from Kenya. He owns apartments in Nairobi through this type of organization. So we need to realize that we can raise money amongst ourselves, other than always looking for outside people to come and bring the 100 million. We can raise $100 million within a week. If for example, if there's a good fund manager or fund that is established well established, and they just say, we need to raise $100 million within 2 weeks. And people can send money there. You have a portfolio, you can monitor how much, and then we invest it, we'll be giving. I'm telling you, 2 weeks is even too long. Within days, we can raise $100 million in Zambia. People will send money there. We need that type of organization. Indians are doing it. Okay? Indians. I have a friend again, an Indian. They have these funds in India that invest. So one company will have 200 people that have contributed $2,000, $2,000, $3,000. That's enough investment to raise enough money to run a huge project. But we don't have that, what can I say, the drive to organize ourselves in terms of monetary type of organization. We need to have, I was talking to my friend who is running, one of the directors in Zambia and financial guru there, Jason. I was telling him, come on, organize such a thing in Zambia. Organize such a thing. We in diaspora, we can afford the $500 to contribute to such a fund, honestly. And we'll be running big projects in Zambia. Zambians will be very proud, Zambia. If I invest $500 and after 5 years I get $2,000, that's fine with me. Okay? So we need to come up with this type of organization. I don't know what's wrong with us. We have all these financial, well-trained Zambians, but nobody's coming with such type of ideas to bring money together, to run our minds. We can run our minds. That's what I can say. Thank you.
Well, here's the thing. I actually agree with what you're saying. You know, I agree with everybody. I agree with everybody what they're saying. But just to amplify on what everybody has been saying so far, when it comes to is a mind on its own, I don't think it's a small task. And just to answer Bakombe's question, I think Bakombe, posed the question to say, why don't we use our own, local individuals and local resources to fund these mines or run these mines? Now, when the Northern Circuit announcement was made, it came possible because of the exhibition that was done in the Northern Circuit. And like I said, there's a guru there by the name of Vasistas that has been a guru in the mining industry for years. Like if you talk about mining in Zambian, that's him. That idea actually came from him. And he went to tell the president, like, look, Mr. President, please give us 3 big major mines. Okay? So now he's not just saying, give us these big major mines to the foreigners. No. And I think we know how our current government is moving, the way this president is moving. Even if having this big, huge, humongous mines operation from ground to up, we need large investment, huge, large investment. We all know that it's not a small task. It's not a small boy business. And if we have big business people that we can have within Zambia, like our sisters, and combine our efforts with big conglomerates that have those machineries already that can bring in at the snap of a finger to say, bring this in, we start mining within months. That's okay. Other than we say, okay, fine, let's just start organizing ourselves as Zambians from the ground up. Because I mean,
there is a $200 billion in gold reserves that we can put, to start with. Let's start there.
Okay. Let's go there. Let's go there. Those are what we call reserves. Why are they called reserves, first of all?
We can tap into it.
No.
Because as we speak, we are collecting more. We are collecting more gold.
Umfwenivani. Ama reserves Z. Ya kuleka fie. Te ya kuikatako no katako. Okay.
Look, we're still
Okay.
raising more
Let me give you an example.
I have a question, Vachanda.
Let me just finish. So let me give you an example. The United States has the largest deposits of oil and all these other stuff.
You mean crude oil?
Yeah, but they're not the largest producers of it. Why are they
But,
talking?
okay,
It's just an example I'm just giving you.
Okay, let's not even go there. Let's take, for instance, Mupan. Whatever how much money did they pump into that Mupan? Isn't it $1 billion? And you mean we can't tap $20 billion of our reserves and set up this when we and we're still in the process of collecting more of this gold. Once we start making money, we put towards that. We just need to tighten the belt a little bit.
That's
what I think.
No. Okay, no problem.
My question actually, and it's a question and comment. I agree with Bakalinda. I mean, the reserves, there's no such a thing that you cannot touch your reserves. I'll give you an example. Let's say, Vachanda, you have $5,000 in your account, and then an opportunity comes in where you can invest in a project. You can invest $2,500, and in 6 months, you make 3 times that. Would you say, I'm not going to touch my savings because these are my savings? Or you'd say, from my savings, let me withdraw 2.5, invest, in 6 months, I'll make double. This is how even, what do they call it in the US? CDs are being run in banks. They're encouraging you. They say, you have money. Borrow us that money. In 7 months, we give you 4% interest on the money that you invest. You see? So I, as a person, when I look at that, 2 things. I can say, no, I'm not going to buy CDs from my bank because I want to keep this money for the whole year in my account. Meanwhile, we all know when you're keeping money in the account, you're not making anything out of that. But instead of keeping that money in the account, and I say, I'll invest. And you say, let me borrow the bank this money. In 7 months, they're going to give me 4% of what I invest. It means I'll make more money when they use the money. It's the same as touching your reserves. So there's no such a thing that reserves, you can't touch them. No, sometimes you can. That's why they're there. Use them.
All right. Okay. So I didn't say you cannot really completely not touch them.
You said you're not supposed to touch them.
Yes. So Chimochin, I want to give you a classic example of, since you mentioned bank, you've mentioned bank. Savings walikwata checking, walikwata na savings. Okay? So these 2 accounts work independently and differently. In Daramolepo some savings, you're not supposed to be the bank will start charging you on that. Because savings, it means now we can darama for future use. Chimochi the nama reserve of wayaba is for future use.
So maybe is there a timeline when you say future?
No, there isn't. Because here's the thing. Chimone in a chalo. Okay, this is just a bank scenario I'm giving you. No, but Ichalo, imagine this. All of a sudden, kosa kwa buke nkondo. Okay? Zambia. Mamon. That's where you go now. You tap it. But now we're desperate.
I don't think we're saying, I think we're missing each other here. We're not saying
we are.
We're not saying you go to the reserves every day. We are saying if there is a discovery or an opportunity for the country to invest, you have to do all the math. If the math is mathing, well, go ahead and do it. You can withdraw from your reserves and invest, provided the math is adding up. That's what we're saying. We're not saying every month you go and you touch your reserves. No.
Moneni wakombe imwe na imwe nasa naleta business idea kuli imwe na mie abakome monene ni kwatako ka business idea for example just for argument's sake 50 kwacha, okay, and then imwe namukwatako at least 50 kwacha namuikwata mu savings, and then mu checkings namukwatako ka 10 kwacha mwamona. So mona if ngatwabika po 25 i business ya la balance masa manja mbana wishwa chanda shishibe wino business if it's going to work or not, because you don't know, there's a risk, because every business has a risk.
Correct.
The money that you have is money in your hand,
correct.
Okay, you cannot just be thinking that ngai business ngafya boom kafya tasha ni fya kutika fingi.
Okay. No, but under you have money in your savings. I want to believe you have money in your savings, right?
Can I come in, please?
But under the question,
that's not the topic. That's an example.
No. We're talking funds here. We're talking investment in-house investment. We're still talking about this. I'm asking you a question. No. You have money in your account. I want to believe in your savings. Why do you think you have that money in there? Why do you have that money?
No, I don't have to answer you. I've already explained the reasons of having money. I've already explained the reasons of having money in the account.
Okay.
Which I can explain.
No, you haven't.
Bachand, I think Chilufya, you are alone on this one.
Thank you.
Mukawa.
You have 3 against 1. Let me tell you. Some of us are now going for what are known as retirement seminars.
Indeed.
Mama, yes. Look, you guys have worked. Mama, we're looking at in
the one module,
I don't. You're not under 40, so you're there.
Yeah.
I'm going to retire tomorrow. Okay.
So in our one of the modules, it says it's very important for you to convert what called static savings into productive capital.
Indeed.
Okay? So this lecturer was telling us, you have all this pension you have been putting the money you have somewhere. He calls it static capital. All right. It's sitting there for 65 years. You have his own 65. It says at the point, sometimes you need to convert what is known as a static capital into productive capital. Get it and invest it. And what happens is this static capital is going to generate more annual returns, much higher than when it was static capital. So what he was trying to say was, take a risk sometimes if you want to grow the money. Convert it from what has been sitting there for 50, 60 years. Invest it in something that's going to, and the mines, if we do that as a country, we are almost 100% sure we're going to recover our money. There's nothing, the risk of running our own mines and getting the money back are very, very minimal. Very minimal. There's no way that, because at that time we'll have full control of our mines. The profits are all ours and we'll be selling. And also to say, it can fail, the mines can fail. That one, the chances of us failing, not making money out of our own mines, 100% own mines are very, very minimal. So I just wanted to say that what we're talking about national reserves, that's static, it's sitting there.
Brilliant.
We can really convert into productive capital by investing it in something that will bring us money with higher returns, annual returns, several times higher than keeping it as static. That's what I wanted to do.
Well, that's why I like this conversation, because we're able to
just to piggyback on what Vadani has said, Vachanda. Let's look at Lusaka and Dola highway, right? Who's funding that? Yes.
It's a partnership.
Where did they get the funding?
They got it from
NAPSA.
Why do you? So NAPSA, those are reserves, right? Because those are people's money. Why do you think they did that, Vachanda?
It's the same thing. Now you're talking my language.
Why do you think they did that?
Now you're talking my language. So the point I was coming to, because even if now mkwatama reserves, you partner in a PPP to lela ndapo. Kuti mwafunya kolaka no. That doesn't mean you have to remove the whole reserve. However,
You are changing the goalpost, but each time we corner you change the goalpost. You said reserves should never be touched.
How much money these investors in the mines are bringing in? And
no, but you're saying 100%, but I'm not changing. But okay, sorry. Okay. You're saying we need to run it 100%. So if we have the money in the reserve.
No, who said 100%?
Okay.
Much of the funding, there's money, there's idle monies sitting there, like Daniel said.
So, but look,
pointless to have money and say we cannot touch it. Meanwhile, more opportunities come investors. We talked about it. These investors, when they come in and they invest, how much profit are they keeping in the country? That should be your question.
But here's the thing. I think the question here, I think is, do we run this mine 100%? Because you're saying like we have local individuals, we have local resources, we don't need investors, right?
Why should we partner if we can manage to run them? Why should we partner? That's my question. If there are 20 Zambians who are capable of providing money to generate that capital, and they have the know-how to run the mines, why should we get an expert? You know, when you say that, it reminds me of the thinking we have kufaz right now. A local coach will start with local players. Mwayaku World Cup, you go and engage a white man. Why do you do that? Why do you do that?
Okay. Like I didn't put a point yet. If
you are relying on a foreign person to come and run.
What I'm saying
is that you can do.
Hear me out. If we have reserves, like you said, we've got reserves. And Bakalinda was saying, why are we going outside when we have reserves? Why are we going outside? So my point was, why don't we keep our reserves, maybe tap a little bit out of it, and then partner with somebody?
Let me summarize your comment, Vachanda. You can't have it both ways. For those that are joining us now, Vachanda has just changed his stance. In the beginning, he said, no. In the beginning, you said reserves should never be touched. That's what you said. Now we have all convinced you. Now you are changing to say a little bit.
He's changing quite to that PF.
Let me say this. If it was
your savings mwasunga, use it sometimes.
Okay, we've gone out of tangent.
We haven't.
No, I've gone out of tangent. Because it's not about me. It's not about me. It's just the way I was looking at things. It's not about me, okay? But it's just the way I was looking at things. I was like, if we have like the big super countries in the world, do you know that, like, if you look at the map, if you just go and Google yourself, just say reserves of oil, reserve of gold, reserve of this, look at the top big countries. We're nowhere near that. Now, why are these countries keeping reserves?
Okay? That is what a capitalist wants to instill in you, fear. So that you uses your money somewhere.
Yeah, man.
It's a simple question. Nishi basungira filia fintu, nishi basungira oil reserves, indeni underground and upstairs.
Insurance are making money. You are insuring your reserves. They are making money out of you.
Yes.
But under Mukaya join a chirimba mwalikwatana 1 million savings. Don't do that. Use your savings sometimes. That's why
No,
I've developed a concept. I don't want to have money that I have no access to. I don't believe in that.
No.
If I have money, I should have
You always
access.
No, you always have access to your money.
But you said your savings in withdraw. That's what you mean. Unless life ya change. Come on now.
Here's what I was saying. I was saying like this. Not savings. You're now taking it personal.
No, we're taking reserves.
Yeah,
simplify my reserves.
Yeah, right? So reserves.
Your savings is like a reserve, right? You are keeping money.
So reserve. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, look, if you go to the United States, they will tell you that we have big reserves of this. But do you see them saying that? Oh no, because there's a war in the Middle East. The oil prices are going to be.
They're still going to their own money.
That's the point I wanted to make. The U.S. prints their own money. So you are even comparing Zambia to the U.S.
Zambia to the U.S.
Let's compare Rwanda with Sudan. Let's compare Zambia with Sudan, yeah?
Yes.
With Sudan. Okay. Okay. All right. So nga bola ilishadi by Manchester United mali wina.
We have won so many league titles. It's unbelievable.
Oh my word.
You make people feel good. At the end of the season, it comes back to the same thing. So you guys are just Hollywood. You entertain everyone when the league is being played.
Manchester United.
If you look at our silverware, mwala kokoro kupenda makapuka. Nobody cares.
But who has the most FA Cup wins in the Premier League? It's Arsenal. Yeah, Turawina. We have the most cups there.
Yeah,
and this season, Vane, Muchinga. Anyway, I'm loving
it. 1 month, Molamono for Morocco. You guys are too strong. You need an Arsenal supporter on your management team. Everybody have a parent. You need them.
Game 35, 36, and 37. Yeah, my excuse.
Uvuvi sana.
Mnatuchena. Nikisaka mwatampo kumuchena, mwatampo kumukonko mwaiche. Ela mwaiche fye. Ela mwaiche fye, mwatampo kumukonga konga, mwatampo kumumama sizesi.
Satala munako hope mwako ataimu nalesa la papa bat.
All right, you keep your hammering. I will see what that coach will take you. That idea is uses the same system every game. Every game.
It's okay. We're a legendary team.
Yeah, legendary
striker. We need the central striker. You need the central striker, yo.
In 3 weeks, Mwalamba make excuses. Actually, by boxing game in December, you're going to see.
No, clean game. Ngamleta have a clean game in Stabwa.
We need the central.
Manchester muliva rafu.
Yeah.
Tamwaishwa bola. Mwaishwa vyo kutea rafu.
Every year, you're always number 2, number 3. Nobody remembers you.
Let's revisit this. Oh my God. Oh my God.
1
They
point
are,
ahead that
they,
the elephant is on the
they are in their own dream
Yeah,
world.
I tell him.
so
After 3 games, the elephant now on a punch.
As for you, Doc, let's just don't even say anything. You don't even support any team.
support team chikashinga yakuisa I don't understand.
At Newcastle. He's with Newcastle.
Kwaliwo muntu usapota Newcastle sure. Pesamba ya chalo.
Wednesday.
Pesamba ya chalo shaumfwapo. Shaumfwapo.
Okay.
Newcastle.
Celtic
That
Wednesday.
is my team from 1986.
Mwamwani, shaumfwapo pesamba ya chalo. Achewe ni supporta Newcastle.
There you have one now. The Doc.
Okay.
The Doc. Newcastle supporter.
I give him kudos because that's what it takes to be a fan.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. You're strong with your team. No, but if you look at Arsenal supporters, majority of your supporters just came in 10 years ago.
Yeah.
People jumping, switching camps, and I mean,
We don't
you have no tradition. If you look at soccer,
we have
you
a
have no
tradition.
tradition, Arsenal.
10 years, if you're talking about 10 years ago, 10 years ago, what was I doing 10 years ago? I was still an Arsenal fan.
You were supporting Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, hell no.
But here's what I can tell you. Me, my grandfathers were Liverpool. So kwale baida bole yale isa pa Saturday akale.
Big
I
league
don't know what it
soccer.
was called. Hey,
Big league soccer. If you're old enough.
so my grandpaps were Liverpool. So me, I was just watching with them. I was just watching football, just watching. You see what I'm saying? Team.
Ian Rush.
John Barnes. Yes. But Shikuru he would jump up. Mosi up.
Newcastle was a team those days.
No, Papa,
So from then, I became Arsenal.
How did you start supporting Arsenal?
You know, from there, I just decided Arsenal. Because Arsenal are the team. Yakagero Kamoko na Red.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Not 5 years ago. Missionary Kwais Kumana.
I started in Newcastle and then I used to go in that, and from that time I've never left them.
I've been supporting Man U for almost...
Liverpool, but from the time I reached high school,
it's nice to go in those stadiums to watch the match for your team. Then you never get detached.
I've been supporting Man U for almost 44 years. Because I remember I was about 8 or 7. I was about 8 years old. Man United. A long time ago, Steve Bruce, Rand Giggs, Man U like you said, Matsandana, my father was Liverpool. But then one day my father challenged me because I used to support Liverpool because my dad supported Liverpool. But then he said, pick another team so that when they're playing, you are supporting another team. Well, I picked the other team that wore red. That was Man United. Yeah. That's when I started supporting Man United.
That's when Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn Rovers those days.
Yes, Blackburn Rovers, Leeds, those were big teams.
Yeah. Okay, but let's say good night. Let's say good night. If you guys want to continue in the background,
still evening, actually.
It's good. It's good.
It's a good evening, yes. It's still evening. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Let's jump into next week and discuss more issues. I think there's so many news that we haven't even discussed. Like so many news. Mulungushi Textiles. Malaysia Commission in the next maybe next month, I think.
They were testing the machines, yeah.
Yeah, they were testing the machines. They were just testing the machines. And I stamp on print and Ligaria. So Ligaria te kushta nomba ku China. Ligaria ni kushta vepa Mulungushi Textiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that's a big, huge and the plus for the cotton farmers. Farming a cotton. This is the time to go in big. because they need the cotton over there. There's some
They're
is
good.
local, some is importing, some they're importing. But if they can
No,
just buy everything locally,
they are doing
100%, then
the prime thing will not be, it will be bags.
Mm.
They'll be doing a lot of bags for fertilizer and all this, the bagging stuff.
Mm.
That will be
United
their main
Capital.
product. Yeah. Not clothing, but sacks and packaging materials for our fertilizer plants, for example.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll be making those locally, which is very good.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right, close the show, Machilupia.
All right,
Close the show
gentlemen.
so we look at it.
All right, gentlemen.
yeah.
Thank you. We'll see you next week and have yourself a lovely weekend. And
All
here
right,
it's
bye-bye.
Thanksgiving, so good night.
Already.
Night night.